However, we include all Edo-speaking Aborigines wherever they are in the state, in Nigeria and the diaspora. These people, whether from Esan, Esako, Afemai, Isoko, Ika, Akoko, Edo, Urobo, Ijo, Yoruba, Abo, Umunedi, or Ibanke, boast of a conservative informal population of over 10 million people who are known for their craftsmanship, who produce high-quality goods, including textiles, bronze, and metalwork, just as it was a key player in the Trans-Sahara and coastal trade networks in the 15th century. Contrary to its historic status as one of Africa's oldest and most distinguished civilizations, Edo State, the current host of the Benin Nation, is in a condition of discrepitude owing to the dictatorial tendencies, incompetence, and unprovoked atrocities precipitated by Governor Obaseki, which is at variance with the dictates of good governance. Good governance relies on a strong partnership between the government and the people. While the government must act empathetically and effectively, our citizens must engage actively, provide feedback, and hold officials accountable.
Many atrocities committed by Obaseki against the Benin nation. Benin Group gives Obaseki 7-day ultimatum to apologize to Oba of Benin. The concerned people of Benin Nation, CPBN, issued a 7-day ultimatum to Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki to issue an unreserved written public apology to the Oba of Benin, Vomo Noba Nida Wukuak Palak Polo Oba El Wahe II, for what they termed many atrocities committed by Obaseki against Benin Nation. In a strongly worded press statement read by Professor Amen Huhung Wango at the Nigeria Union of Journalists Secretariat in Benin City, Edo State, and signed by members of the group, they said the apology should also be published in at least 3 national newspapers. They also noted, the apology is one of the series of grievances the group demands immediate action for based on their claims of serious wrongs that the governor has committed against the Benin Kingdom and its people. The CPBN, representing a broad coalition of Edo State residents, also demands an immediate halt to the ongoing construction of a museum for repatriated Benin artifacts, which they claim is being built without the Oba's approval. Additionally, they call for the withdrawal of lawsuits allegedly filed by certain Enigi against the Omo Noba and the reallocation of lands and properties whose certificates of occupancy were revoked by the governor, affecting prominent Edo individuals. Furthermore, the CPBN demands the return of communal lands they claim were illegally acquired by the state government and the payment of salaries and allowances to 14 Edo State House of Assembly members who have been unconstitutionally denied their seats for 4 years. In the light of the above, the concerned people of Benin Nation, CPBN, on behalf of the good people of Edo State call on Governor Godwin Obaseki, to as a matter of urgency and within 7 days of the publication of this press statement to right the wrongs in the manner, as follow. Render an unreserved written public apology to the Oba of Benin Omo Noba Nida Wukuak Palak Polo Oba El Wahe II, to be published in at least 3 national newspapers, for his sacrilegious disrespect to the throne of the Benin Kingdom. B. Stop the abominable spiteful construction of a museum for the repatriated artifacts of the Benin Kingdom without the concurrence of the Omo Noba. C. Withdraw all lawsuits instigated and filed by some Enigi against the Omo Noba. D. Reallocate lands and properties comprised in the maliciously revoked certificates of occupancy of prominent Edo sons and daughters. E. Return the communal lands illegally acquired by Governor Godwin Obaseki for reasons other than overriding public interest or purpose. F. Payment of the salaries and allowances of the duly elected 14 members of the Edo State House of Assembly unconstitutionally denied of their seats for 4 years by Governor Godwin Obaseki. Ladies and gentlemen, without a scintilla of doubt, the message is loud and clear because enough is enough, they stated. Please sit down and watch as their spokesman addresses the press.
We are gathered here to read the full text of the press statement by the concerned people of Benin Nation here in the press center. Our address is on the many atrocities and provocative acts of Governor Godwin Obaseki against the great Benin people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us begin by welcoming you all to this press conference. It is really with pain in our hearts and a quest for a better Edo State that the concerned people of Benin Nation, CPBN, a socio-political, economic, and cultural group committed to the development and well-being of the Edo people, have decided to address you. The Benin Nation. The Benin people are the proud indigenes of the territorial conglomeration known as Benin Kingdom in Edo State, Nigeria. A unique conclave of peculiar people, our shared culture, identity, and history is respected and celebrated all over the world. The Benin Nation occupies the 7 local government areas of Iko, Ikpobaoka, Oredo, Orion, Ovia Northeast, Ovia Southwest, and Nwode in Edo South Senatorial District. However, we include all Edo-speaking aborigines wherever they are in the state, in Nigeria, and the diaspora. These people, whether from Esan, Esako, Afemai, Isoko, Ika, Akoko, Edo, Urobo, Ijo, Yoruba, Abo, Umunedi, or Ibanke, boast of a conservative informal population of over 10 million people who are known for their craftsmanship, who produce high-quality goods, including textiles, bronze, and metal work, just as it was a key player in the Trans-Sahara and coastal trade networks in the 15th century. Contrary to its historic status as one of Africa's oldest and most distinguished civilizations, Edo State, the current host of the Benin Nation, is in a condition of discrepitude owing to the dictatorial tendencies, incompetence, and unprovoked atrocities precipitated by Governor Godwin Obaseki, which is at variance with the dictates of good governance. Good governance relies on a strong partnership between the government and the people. While the government must act empathetically and effectively, our citizens must engage actively, provide feedback, and hold officials accountable. By upholding the principles of good governance, both parties can work together to build a more stable, just, prosperous, and resilient society while improving the quality of life of the people. Unfortunately, the current governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, who happens to be a son of the Benin Nation and who ought to be a blessing, has become a burden, if not a curse, to his own people. It will interest you to know that Godwin Obaseki has taken Edo from a state of developmental stability and growth to one of retrogression, bitterness, and general maladministration. He has been at war with himself and others, and all others, turning governance on his head. Governance and power, which ought to be tools for societal cohesion and integration, cultural elevation, and the upliftment of the people, have been excessively deployed by the Edo State government as a divisive weapon of acrimony, lawlessness, and flagrant abuse of the rule of law and separation of powers. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we crave your indulgence to highlight the litany of Governor Obaseki's ungodly acts against his own people, the Benin's, between 2016 and 2024. 1. Non-inauguration of the 14 members elect of the Edo State House of Assembly. In analyzing the innumerable sins of Governor Obaseki, the best way to set the sail is perhaps his affront on the very tenets that sought to his emergence as elected governor of Edo State. Democracy, which still remains the best form of government, derives its legitimacy from the people. with the legislature as its incontrovertible bastion. The principles of checks and balances, as enshrined in our Constitution, demand that the three arms of government be allowed to function and thrive for the good of the people. The governor, in his frenzied cold-heartedness, truncated the inauguration of 14 duly elected members of Edo State House of Assembly in 2019. It is on record that this assault on democracy dealt a terrible blow on Benin people, as 10 of the 14 members that were denied inauguration were from the Edo South Senatorial District, including the elected representative of the governor's Oredo East constituency, Honorable Chris Okaibe. As a result of this, the Beninese became the minority in the House with just 4 members. While the details of the entire nasty episode need not detain us, it is important to highlight the fact that this ungodly exclusion deprived millions of Edo people of quality representation for 4 years. In those years, the machinery of governance ran at its lowest ebb, as Obaseki ran riots with a firm, unrestrained, unchecked, and unscrutinized grip on the levers of power. Even today, 2 members of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Emaku Ade and Honorable Ojeme Donna Kobe, representing Esa North-East Constituency 1 and Akoko Edo Constituency 2, respectively, have been suspended from the House with impunity, thereby depriving their people of effective representation. These acts of oppression, deprivation, intimidation, and violence remain a dark part of our recent history. 2, sponsored protests against the nomination of prominent Benin sons for high office. While other governors seek and seize every chance to attract and domesticate opportunities to their states, CPBA notes with dismay how the governor has imposed himself as a stumbling block to the progress of the Benin. In his Watom vendetta, he sponsored the protest against the nomination of His Excellency Right Honorable Pius Odubo and Chief Victor Ekato as chairman and commissioner of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, respectively, in 2019. Eventually, Edo lost such a golden opportunity that would have brought huge infrastructural and human capital development to the state. In 2021, he also sponsored the protest against the conferment of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, on Right Honorable Ediogie West Idahosa, who is in Sam today. 3, abandonment to destruction of critical state infrastructure. The litany of Governor Obaseki's atrocities against Edo people is endless. We can highlight some of them. The ambitious Benin Storm water project, with the concomitant effect of managing the unprecedented flooding in Benin City metropolis, have been abandoned, leaving Edo people undergoing harrowing straits, hardship, and danger whenever it rains. The Ekewa Road project, which commenced over 6 years ago, has been abandoned. To prove his lack of interest in the welfare of Edo people, the governor sanctioned the demolition of the age-long specialist hospital along Saple Road in favor of a privately owned museum. He also ordered the demolition of an educational resource library along Saple Road, and in its place, a private shopping mall has been erected. He engineered the vandalization of the State House of Assembly complex to prevent the 14 members who were illegally not inaugurated from accessing the house. He spent billions of taxpayers' money in signing and showcasing several MOUs and feasibility studies, such as those of the Gelegele Seaport, the Auchi Airport, and the Benin Industrial Park in Obayanta community, among many others that ended as mirages. He spent billions of taxpayers' money in signing and showcasing several MOUs and feasibility studies such as those of that is located. He also shut down the renowned Institute of Continuing Education (ICE), which played a very prominent role in this state. Some of the beneficiaries are here today. Number 4, assassination attempts. Prior to the Edo State gubernatorial election in 2020, the governor turned a blind eye to the detonation of improvised explosive device (IED) at the residence of two chieftains of the All Progressives Congress, Engineer Lawrence Oka, the state secretary of the party, and Barrister Henry Idahabo, the former Attorney General of Edo State. Attempted balkanization of the Great Benin Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, perhaps the most heinous of Obaseki's crimes against Edo people is his sustained fight and acrimony against the revered institution of the Benin monarchy. And the entire Benin Traditional Council. The ancient Benin Kingdom is renowned all over the world as its rich historical civilization, unique cultures and traditions, and an ownership that is cherished and respected. The same institution, which is the pride of the average Edo man, is what a Benin man attempted to balkanize. The governor, in his selfish interest, has attempted through covert and overt means to reloot the repatriated Benin artifacts. These artifacts looted from the palace of the Oba of Benin by colonial invaders remain our pride and a reminder of who we are as they tell stories of our civilization. More than any attempt at intellectual historical reconstruction. By law, they are the sole preserve of the Benin monarch and must be domiciled within the precincts of the palace of His Royal Majesty. This unpardonable sin against our traditional institution is indeed the last straw that has broken the government's back. To add, it despicably connived with some Benige and sacrilegiously instituted a lawsuit against the Oba of Benin. What a shame. The events of the last few months are unprecedented as the last time such as onslaught was attempted on the revered throne of the Oba of Benin was in 1897. He deliberately ordered the closure of the Oba Kenzwa II Cultural Center. He announced the banning or proscription of Okaigele in Benin Kingdom without due consultation with the Oba of Benin or the Benin Traditional Council. There is also the illegal withholding of the statutory funds payable to the Benin Traditional Council. 6. Gruesome murder of Inspector Onu Akon. On the 18th of July 2024, thugs recruited as members of the Edo State Vigilante and Public Works Volunteer who, wielding dangerous weapons, including guns, opened fire on the convoy of the APC governorship candidate, killing his orderly Inspector Onu Akon at the exit gate of Benin Airport. Sources confirmed that the state's deputy governor, Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, who was in the company of the APC gubernatorial candidate, was also a target as the irate thugs were deployed by their employers to prevent him from resuming his office after the favorable court judgment. In a bid to cover up this dastardly act, the Edo State government shamelessly took to the press, claiming that the shot was fired by a supporter of the APC. And those people have continued to ask the governor why members of the APC who gathered to see their candidate will resort to shooting themselves. 7. Demolition of properties at Okoroma community despite subsisting restraining court order. We note that the primary responsibility of every government is to protect the lives and property of our citizens, not for covert or grab it for personal use, as is the case at present. In 2022, the elders and people of Koroma community in Ubaka local government area of the state dragged the government to the state high court over the forceful takeover of the ancestral land. Despite the court order restraining the government and other parties from further trespassing on, bulldozing or developing the said land, the governor, in the guise of possessing lands that belong to the state government for the construction of a new town, ordered the comprehensive demolition of hundreds of houses worth billions of naira belonging to ordinary Edo people at a time that they are passing through various forms of hardship. That land is being sold by the government to people at exorbitant cost today. 8. Official land grabbing by the Edo state government. To ease the forceful grabbing of the vast forest reserve estates of Edo for single crop plantation owners, the governor reversed the decision taken by the administration of Comrade Adams Oshomole in 2015 to revoke 13,750 hectares of higher biodiversity concentrated lowland of the Okumu and the Oman Forest Reserve of the state, and hand same over to the local communities. To ensure a smooth sale through the Rubber Stamp State House of Assembly, he initiated and supervised the expunging of the long-existing forestry law, which gave the ownership of such farmland to local communities, and passed the colonial forestry law that has deprived indigenes of their land. In furtherance, the state government has also allocated more of the vast lands of Owa and Ulea, Ora, Ozala, lowland rainforest reserve, about 5,085 hectares, to Foyos Nigeria Limited and several other local companies alleged to be frauds to the aforementioned multinational companies. Likewise, the adjoining forest reserve at the Kiadolo in Ovia Northeast local government area, as well as those in Owan West, Owan East, Esa West, Esako East, Ubunode, Oriomo, and Ipubaoka, and others, spanning over 400 local communities, have been ceded to the Saro Africa and already bulldozed for monocropping. This is in total defiance to the fact that the company has a pending petition against it at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over the failed Sobe Farm project. Some may have wondered why the Benin Enterprise Park project suddenly became another deal that ended on paper. In this particular case, over 997 hectares of land was released to Amaya Real Estate Holdings Limited, a UK offshore company that was registered in April 2019, just 3 months after the registration of the park. Definitely, Amaya was designed to be the major investor in Benin Enterprise Park in Agbomoba community, kilometer 22 Benin Sapele Road, Edo State. Edo people are unaware that the Benin Enterprise Park Limited is listed at the Corporate Affairs Commission as a private company limited by shares entirely, yet the state government ceded such vast expanse of land to it. By sheer providence, the project has since been abandoned because of an ongoing litigation between it and the Benin Omuna River Basin Development Authority, the alleged owner of the property. Beyond the aforesaid examples, the governor has brazenly handed over thousands of hectares of farmland and forest reserves to dubious corporate farmers without commensurate benefit to the state, as well as the whole communities and their indigenous people. Our rural people and communities have been deprived of their ancestral farmlands without financial compensation or alternatives. 9. Malicious revocation of the certificate of occupancy issued in respect of the farmland acquired by our late illustrious son of Benin Kingdom, Captain Rosa West Okunbo. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, rather than celebrating our own people who chose to invest in their home state in order to aid its infrastructural advancement while helping to reduce unemployment rates drastically, instead of providing an enabling environment for such initiatives to thrive, the governor is committed to destroying them. In fact, he has gone beyond grabbing from the living in our wages war with the dead. We wish to strongly condemn the malicious evocation of the CFO of the farmlands of our illustrious son, late Captain Osakumbo, and hereby call on Edo State people to rise in one voice in total condemnation of the high-handedness of the government and its co-traveler. The said land was acquired through the administration of His Excellency Lucky Lusaka Igbenedion, and we are aware that billions of naira have been invested on that land for its development. Some other privately, legally owned properties whose CFO were unscrupulously revoked include property belonging to His Excellency Right Honorable Pius Odugo, the former Deputy Governor of the state. This was revoked on 29 February 2020. Property belonging to Chief Osene Lama revoked on 29 February 2020. Property belonging to Right Honorable Julius Ihoveri revoked on 29th of February 2020. Properties belonging to Pastor Osageze Yamu revoked on 22nd of July 2021. There are more of these, and the singular reason for this revocation is because the owners are members of the opposition party. Other atrocities include sponsored attack on distinguished Senator Matthew Urowide at Benin Airport on April 27, 2018. Demolition of Comrade Tony Kabaka's hotel on February 5th, 2020, despite pending suit at the High Court of Justice, Benin. Closure of Stella Obasanjo Women and Children Hospital. Failure to realize the promise of creating 200,000 new jobs. Demolition of Edo Specialist Hospital Benin City to pave the way for the construction of privately owned museum. Refusal to reconstruct burnt urban market. The refusal to rebuild the burnt Osa market, Ekiosa, for over 4 years. Until 2 weeks ago, about few months or few days to the end of this administration. Hoarding and diversion of palliatives given to Edo State by the federal government of Nigeria for distribution. Refusal to pay outstanding salaries and arrears of members of staff of the defunct College of Education in Kiadolo. Edo State has the potential to attract serious and realizable investments, both domestic and foreign, and this was supposed to be the primary purpose of the most talked about summit called Alaudaro, which means moving forward in Benin language. Unfortunately, this all-time expensive economic conclave has fallen significantly short of expectations as private business continue to fold up because of the hostile business climate deliberately created and passionately nurtured by this administration. Edo people now generally refer to Alawudao as Alagiyeke, which is the truth. Moving backward. In proof, the state was graded among the least performing states, having ranked 33rd on the ease of doing business according to Budget Nigeria in 2022. From the foregoing, the fact that Obaseki is an ill wind that blows the Benin people no good cannot be controverted. Our fellow Edos, political power is designed to improve society, to create wealth, and to guarantee prosperity for the people. We urge the good people of Edo State not to back down from speaking emphatically or acting decisively against the weaponization of gubernatorial power. It is hard to understand why a government elected to office democratically will harden his heart against the same people he is expected to serve. The unprecedented level of brigandage, impunity, and anarchism that aptly defines this administration is astonishing and irreconcilable with the basic tenets of democracy. The government lacks the capacity to feel the warmth of humanity, which alongside good character, compassion, and empathy are the main prerequisites for political leadership. It has become intolerably odious to Benin, to Edo people who cannot wait for the termination of this administration. However, the governor must be reminded that no force on earth can quench the resilient spirit of the Benin people. Conclude simply, the September 21st Edo State governorship election offered our people the opportunity to interrogate the character of the candidates presented to the public for the forthcoming election. We must resist the temptation of making a choice that may bring greater pains and retrogression upon us as a people. Our demands. In the light of the above, the concerned people of Edo Nation, CBBN, on behalf of the good people of Edo State, call on Governor Obaseki to, as a matter of urgency, and within 7 days of the publication of this press statement, right their aforestated wrongs in the manner to which A. Render an unreserved written public apology to the Oba of Benin, to be published in at least 3 national newspapers for his disrespect to the throne of the Benin Kingdom. Stop the abominable, spiteful construction of a museum for the defragmented artifacts of the Benin Kingdom without the concurrence of the Omonoba. Withdraw all lawsuits instigated and filed by some Enigi against the Oba. Reallocate lands property comprised in the maliciously revoked certificate of occupancy of Pastor Osage Iyamu, Honorable Pius Odubu, Professor Julius Yomiri, Chief Osini Elama, and Captain Osa Umbu. Return the communal land illegally acquired by Governor Obaseki for reasons other than overriding public interest or purpose. Payment of the salaries and allowances of the duly elected 14 members of the Edo State House of Assembly unconstitutionally denied of their seat for 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, without a scintilla of doubt, the message is loud and clear because enough is certainly enough. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live the Edo Nation. Long live Edo State. Oba Atokbe.
Oba Atokbe. Oba Atokbe.